If you're tired of how you feel, tired of how you look, tired of your job, or just being tired of being tired, then this is the podcast for you. It's time to find your passion in life and take back your health and regain control of your life. This is the David A. Specht Show. Now, here's David.
That's right. This is the David A. Specht Show. And of course, that would mean that I am David A. Specht, your guide, your host, your tour guide on this lovely journey into a better life and better health. So glad that you have chosen to take your time out to join me for the show today. Just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. For those of you who are new to the show, I want to let you know that we are available in 3 places right now. That would be on iTunes, on Spotify, and on Google Play Music. So however you got to the show today, I just want to say thank you for that. Also, thank you for those that are leaving reviews like Sean Green Ranger on iTunes. Now, all transparency, Sean and I know each other, but I do appreciate each and every review that helps us get seen by more people on iTunes and on the other platforms. And for those of you on YouTube, thank you as well for watching the video version of the show, which is kind of a little bit different. I have a little bit more animation and not animation. I'm a little more animated. I make faces and I do things because I'm a little silly, but it's a little bit of a different experience. And so again, however you've decided to tune in today, I am so grateful and thankful for that, which kind of leads me into the subject matter for today. I was thinking about this over the 4th of July holiday as I had about 35 of my closest friends in our home as we were doing a cookout, etc. And I thought about the importance of community and how community is such a vital part of anybody's journey in this life. We were not designed to be alone in life. As a matter of fact, if you really look at the Word of God and you see where the only time God in the creation process said it wasn't good was when he said it was not good for man to be alone, and he created woman to be man's helpmate. And I thought about that, and I think about it all the time of how important it is for us to have relationships. And as we look at improving our lives, and that's what this show's about. It's about life improvement, whether it's in your health, whether it's in your finances, whether it's in your business. We are about we are about life improvement. And we can't do it in a vacuum. We can't do it alone. We're not like the isolationist superheroes in the comic books. I think about Batman. I'm wearing my Batman t-shirt today, and Batman thought that he could do it all alone, but it turns out that he needed Robin, and he needed Batgirl, and he needed all of the help, and he certainly needed Commissioner Gordon. And so we all need people in our lives that help us attain and get above the line, that help us become more or the better version of ourselves, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be the best version of somebody else. We're trying to be the best version of ourselves. And we need a community around that to make that happen. When my wife and I were on our health journey, like I've told you in a previous podcast, I had a coach that was cheering me on, but that was only one component of what made my journey successful. Another component was a community that was around me. We were part of a closed Facebook group that was people that were on their own health journeys. And there were people who were close to their goal. There were people who were just starting out. There were people in the middle. And what I was watching was every time somebody made any progress whatsoever, they celebrated it. They celebrated that progress. They celebrated that number on the scale. They celebrated that next notch on the belt going in. And I thought about that, and I said, and everybody somebody would post about it, and then everybody would rally around, and there would be animated GIFs, and there would be like, "You did it, awesome! You're great! You're amazing! Keep it up, keep it going." And what happened is that community helped usher that person along their health journey. In the days that they probably didn't feel so strong, they went back to that community, that support system. And they said, "Look, guys, I'm not doing so great today, or I fell off the wagon a little bit today. I had a cookie, or I had a this, or I drank beer, or whatever it was that caused the stumble." But you know what the community did? They rallied around that individual, and they said, "Look, you've got this. You can start again. Don't don't fall off completely. Keep moving in the direction you need to move in. Let's draw a line and start again. And we need that. If we're by ourselves, man, we are our own worst critic, right? That voice inside your head, that ongoing monologue that keeps telling you that this is a failure, that in a little monologue going inside your head that says you're never going to accomplish what you want to accomplish, that little thing inside of your head that says you're never going to emerge better, that you're going to fall down into the same traps that snared you before. You need other voices in your head, other voices in your life, other people to speak life into you. And that's so vitally important in this day and age. There was a group, if you ever read I think it was the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I'm not exactly sure, but there was a concept in that book called the Mastermind Group. And the purpose of a mastermind group was to get people from all walks of life to come together with a common goal, and that was improving themselves, their business, their life. And yet they would come together and share one with another. And in this group, they would challenge one another. They would be action steps. And before the group met again, they would have to have accomplished that. And I followed somebody that was in a mastermind group, and it was like each meeting, there were different ones that were the focus of that group's attention that week. And so they would come in, look, my business is doing this, or my health is doing that, or my personal development is doing this. And they would get this feedback from this supportive group that wants to see that individual succeed. And it helps. It helps hold them accountable. It helps hold you accountable. It helps hold me accountable. We need that community around us. We need people that are out for our best interests. Let me say that again. We need people who are out for our best interests. And sometimes our circle of friends don't have that at the heart. They just don't. They see us at our best. They see us at our worst. But at the end of the day, they may not be in your corner like a support system would be, a community would be. Family may not be that circle you need, that support system that you need. And it's sad that that's the case, but it is absolutely true in so many of our lives that family is not the place that you can turn to for support to help you become the very best version of yourself. It just isn't. Siblings, there may be sibling rivalry. Parents, there may be issues. We lived in a very, very messed up world these days, and we need to find those people that will help usher us to the best version of ourselves. People who encourage us or challenge us to take personal responsibility for our lives and for what our actions, and say, look, this is where you are, but this is where you could be. Let me help you get there. Let me support you in your journey. You've got to do the work, but let me support you in your journey to get you there. When my wife and I were going through our health journey, and let me be honest, our health journey is never going to end. There's still a fat boy inside of me that wants to eat an entire pizza, okay? I'm still going to be contending for my health for the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that. But when we were going through our health journey and we were losing a lot of weight all at once, and even when we were just starting, and we call it a health journey, okay? It's not a diet. It's not a weight loss program. It's not, what are you doing? No, it's a journey, because life is a journey. There's ups, there's downs, there's good traffic, there's traffic backups, it's a journey. And I remember the first time I mentioned in a peer group of mine, it was actually a board meeting. And I said, guys, I can't eat that, or I'm not going to eat that. I'm on a health journey. And all of a sudden this room of men goes, what are you doing? And they started laughing. Health journey. Yeah, whatever, Of course, I was still, just to the south side of 300 pounds. So they're seeing, Fat Dave, and he's talking health journey. And it's, how do I say this? It is quite popular to mock that which you do not understand or do not want to participate in. It's like when you're playing video games. You remember when you were playing video games as a kid? Or maybe you still play video games. Hey, no judgment here. But you remember when you're playing video games and you can't do it? And you can't get past a certain place in the video game, and you say, it's a stupid game. It's just dumb. This is the worst game ever. It's just stupid. And really what you're saying is, because I can't do it myself, because I can't win, because I can't make progress, I would rather blame the game or blame the person or blame the diet than take personal responsibility. So I was in a room full of guys that were each at various stages of health and age, but I knew that a lot of them had embarked on their own, not really of a journey, but attempts to gain health. Or maybe they just wrote it off and said, you know what, health is for somebody else, not for me. And so because they didn't understand what I was going through, when I began to use that terminology, their immediate knee-jerk reaction, and these are great guys. I'm not saying that these are jerks, okay? These are great individuals. But when I use that terminology and they didn't understand, making fun was their knee-jerk reaction. And so many people, when you're trying to improve yourself, are not going to be those ones that support you. They're going to be the ones that make fun. They're going to be the ones that say things like, oh, you're getting too skinny. Or the ones that are saying, well, we'll see what you look like in a year and a half when you put it all back on. Or they're going to be the ones that are like, why are you starting that business? Don't you know that people fail in that business every day? Why would you get into food service or retail or online? Why would you want to develop an app? I mean, come on, there's like a bazillion apps in the app store. There's all these negative Nellies out there that are influencing our life. That's why we have to find that community that's really ready to support us in that area. If you're going into a new business, find you a mastermind group or find you a group of individuals that are headed in that direction and begin to feed one off of another and hold each other accountable. This isn't something that you're just a sponge and you're like, oh, take it in, take it in, take it in. You've got to be a participant in this thing. I've seen so many people who fail or fall off a journey in their life because they don't engage. They sit there and listen. They'll listen to podcasts. They'll listen to the community, but then they never engage with that community and they never feel a part. I've noticed the ones that are a part of the community see the most success. The ones that are a part of the community that are involved in other community members' lives. And again, my personal experiences with this health community that are amazing. I mean, our name even says that we're better together. That's the kind of community you want to find. You want to find a community that's better together, that understands that the more success we all have, the more success we all have. So as I'm looking at this community, I'll see these people that are falling off, and I realize that they're not taking full advantage of the opportunity that's before them with they may talk to their coach, they may, understand the science behind the health program, but they don't engage in that community. And when they don't, they're missing a vital piece of the puzzle. And that translates into every area of our life. I know a lot of people, I'm a person of faith, that's obvious. And I see so many people who are struggling in the areas of spirituality that never will get in a group. Well, church isn't overrated or there's full of nothing but hypocrites. Those hypocrites in the church. Hello, we're all on a journey together and we're at different points in our journey. Just like the health support group that I'm talking about. Church is a spiritual support group. It's a life support group. You've got people that are at various stages, and guess what? We don't all get it right. Even leadership doesn't get it right, but we need to be a part of that community. We need the support. We need to know that we're all headed in the same direction and that we support one another in that journey. So I call, I call whatever you want to call it, BS. Let's just say what it is. I call BS on the person that says, I'm not going to get involved in a church or a group or whatever because of the individuals that are a part of that. If the overall goal is to become the best version of yourself, or the overall goal is to get a closer walk with the Lord, if the overall goal is for business success, if the overall goal is for health success, if the overall goal, you see where I'm going with this? If you can lock arms with those around you that are headed in the same direction and create community around that, what a difference it'll make in your own life's journey. What a difference it'll make in my life's journey. Another thing, it doesn't have to be a physical location. I have seen many, many, many mastermind groups take place in group chats. And I'm not talking about group chat like on your phone. I'm talking about video conferencing chats. where they get together and they're behind their computer, or they're behind their phone, or they're behind their iPad, or whatever method they use, and they sit there and they talk, and they talk it out, and they can see each other's face. Because let's face it, it makes a difference when you can look somebody in the eye, even if it's through the screen of a phone. I was just in Kroger today, and I noticed a lady that was on the phone with her husband, but they were Facetiming. And I was thinking to myself, wouldn't a phone call work? Couldn't you just put the phone next to your ear and just talk about it? But you know what? There was a connection being made there by her face being on his phone and his face being on her phone. And she had her toddler son with her, and she was like, hey, say hi to daddy. And she turned the phone to him, and his eyes lit up, and he went, hi, daddy. And I thought, that's why you FaceTime. And that's why it's important to be face-to-face when you can in your support system. Whether it's a support system of 3 people, a support system of 30 people, it doesn't matter. You've got to have that group of support around you, and you've got to be able to connect. Being face-to-face, even through a device, is better than not being face-to-face at all. And so let me encourage you this morning, evening, wherever you are. It's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon here. But let me encourage you with this. Find you a group. Find you somebody or somebodies that can help you get in tune with heading in the direction that you want to head. And I say this all the time. It doesn't matter what area of your life we're talking about. Yes, this is a predominantly health and business podcast, but it doesn't matter any area of your life. If you want to get closer with the Lord, get in a Bible study group, get in a small group at your church or a church. If you want to get better at business, find you a group, a mastermind group, or a group of business leaders that get together for coffee once a week. If you're looking to improve, find out, if you want to be better read, find a book club. Find a book club at the library. Hello, every town's got a library. I think I've said this before. But don't let the lack of it, how should I say this? I know how I'll say this. Let me say it like this. You are ultimately in control of your own destiny. So do what you need to do to be successful. And knowing now that living in a vacuum or operating in a vacuum will not help you, it is time for you to seek out that which you need to be successful. Take personal responsibility for your own future. Make a deal with the version of yourself that you want to be, and work towards that goal, and get in tune and get in contact with people that are headed in the same direction as you, and that will support you and cheer you on, and that you can support and cheer on as you all move forward to a better life. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm so thankful once again for you tuning in. You can reach me on Instagram at David A. Specht. You can find me on Facebook, David A. Specht. You can find me on Twitter, David A. Specht. Again, if you could, please leave a review and a rating in the various whatever method that you tuned in today. I read all the reviews. I will respond to your reviews, and I am so very thankful once again for that. If this show is helping you out, please share it with your friends, and we'll all live a better life together. So until next time, remember, applied knowledge is power. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to the David A. Specht Show. Remember, words are meaningless without action. So don't just listen, make it happen. Catch you next time.